Warning: Dungeons & Dragons contains material that is not suitable for children, people with heart conditions, weak-minded individuals, or anyone easily offended. If you are included in that list, then please stop watching this video now, for your own safety. Everyone else, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
This is not an error. You are seeing my banner because this video will be a response about dungeon crawling. First, we want to listen to HAL 9000 speak about what he thinks dungeon crawling is.
Dungeon crawling has already been done. It's been perfected in a way that we cannot, on tabletop, reproduce in a way that will even remotely come close to what millions are playing right now. And yes, that is Diablo, Path of Exile, and a number of other games like Torchlight that all do procedurally generated random encounters that are all themed in dungeons that you're wandering through and fighting, because that's the height of our game, is pure endless combat.
Diablo and Path of Exile. These do dungeon crawling better than D&D or other tabletop role-playing games. How about Gauntlet? Did it then also do dungeon crawling better? Does that also include board games that have been turned into video games, like Gloomhaven and
Hero Quest?
No. I think there is a reason people do not wish for video gamers to traverse into the realms of tabletop games because of this very misunderstanding things that dungeon crawling is only for combat. Even in Diablo you had safe levels. This concept goes even beyond video games to anime such as Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, also known as Machi, where the 18th level was a safe zone. The only reason to think that dungeon crawling is only about combat is a failure to understand the games we play. A game is what we make of it, and if all you can think is for combat to be in a dungeon, then that is all there will be. As you can see in my banner map, there is nothing but guide locations. No combat is spelled out, no room descriptions, as I designed it with the sole purpose of old dungeon mapping in mind, that you could place anything you want to correspond to the labeled rooms. This is a fatal misunderstanding of many modern and older gamers that look at game books and see rules for combat, but not for designing economies or for role-playing, as those other things are not something the book needs to tell you how to do or reward you for. Combat is something that occurs within the game, then cannot be handled by player interaction. It is why it existed to be a system to handle such things, and anything can be added that you wish to add to a game. Combat wheelchairs, crippling mental disabilities that drive people insane like misophonia, and any other aspect, even custom coinage, or unique spell requirements, as well as new spells, equipment, the same you would add a persona to an NPC. All these things are there and waiting for you. As Gary Gygax once said, what we must not let people know is that they do not have to buy our books to play D&D. What he meant by this was that each of us has our own imaginations, and must tailor our games to our own needs, not expect some corporation to give you your imagination. Add anything you want to the game, its rules, and any other system for your own games. Just make sure you are not adding something that would be hard to move without damaging the game. One such thing in my case was 3rd edition with skills and feats, so I never cared for it or anything that followed. Today, people are adding things for no reason and forgetting that game design is a process not of adding everything you can, but removing what you can and still having a working game that allows others to add what they need to make the game their own. Now, all fun and games aside, calling Khymerion by HAL 9000 for his equalizer on his video, you should all be sure to subscribe to him to see what other ideas he has that are not your normal echo chambers you will have heard on YouTube before. See his original video linked here in the ends cards.